Full and uncut versions available on Patreon. Check in the description below.
Greetings once again, Pokemaniacs. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with more of the Pokemon Adventures manga, where previously, Ruby, having freshly caught a Feebas that he did not actually want, ended up at the Weather Institute after a wild run-in with a Zangoose and a Seviper. It was during this that he ended up being hunted down by none other than his father, Norman, where we end up finding out that he actually did intend on letting his child participate in the Pokemon contest. It's more that he's just pissed that his child would, run off, endanger himself, and get himself into heaps of trouble, and not even contact his mother. Understandable. Although Norman obviously is not the best at communication, because he feels that he needs to let his fist do the talking. That's what you usually call child services. But no, it was Gabby and Ty who ended up intervening, as they wished to get in contact with Ruby because of his association with Team Magma. As their scuffle comes to a dramatic end, enter Winona, who is supposed to be overseeing both Norman and Flannery, as they are new gym leaders, and to, keep them on task, as they haven't really been accepting challengers the way they should be. So Ruby is taken into somewhat the custody of Gabby and Ty, with Castform wanting to go with Ruby because it enjoys the camaraderie it sees amongst Ruby and it's his Pokemon. Meanwhile, with Flannery, as she readies herself for Sapphire's arrival, as Sapphire's feats and amazing skill has gone through the grapevine of gym leaders, she ends up being kidnapped by none other than Team Aqua as bait in order to lure Sapphire out. And because, information, and they know Sapphire's goal is gym leaders. This lures Sapphire into the plot of Team Aqua, where they have tricked a Pokemon professor and archaeologist, Professor Cosmo, into digging up this ancient meteorite to power a device that will cause the volcano of Mount Chimney to go dormant, causing sea levels to rise. Something that Cosmo knew, but he doesn't understand how dangerous Team Aqua is. Sapphire manages to overcome Matt of Team Aqua, but the admin Amber makes a show of his battle against Sapphire, saying to the professor that it is a rival faction come to stop them and hurt them. And so Cosmo has done the bidding of Team Aqua, potentially to the detriment of the entire world. Despite having teamed up with Flannery, will Sapphire be enough to stop the horde that is Team Aqua and their mad machinations? And how long will it be before Team Aqua and Team Magma come to blows? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, Pokemon Adventures, the Ruby and Sapphire arc. A great cover page that shows that Ruby and Sapphire's Pokemon will evolve into Blaziken, as well as my favorite Pokemon and my favorite starter evolution, Swampert. Yep, that's it. Now, I do love Blaziken a lot, but I try to restrict to things when it comes to the starters. Marshtomp, Mudkip, Swampert, that was the line I chose in going in. Although I also like, Sceptile's not my favorite. I was really into Grovyle, but when I saw the Sceptile evolution, I'm like, ooh, you almost had me on that one. And it was mostly because of Ash's Pokemon. Honestly, Sceptile only has grown on me more because of the cool stuff I've seen in the anime. But Swampert all the way, baby. Alright, it's volume 18. Let's jump in. Oh, cool. A nice little splash page that shows off their two teams of Pokemon. That's actually pretty awesome. Oh, those silhouettes here. Are we gonna see them? Interesting. Alright, chapter 215. Assaulted by Pelipper, Part 2. Oh, narration. A long, long time ago, the Pokemon of the land and sea waged a fierce battle against one another. We see Kyogre and Groudon. The Pokemon of the sea created huge waves to spread the sea farther. The Pokemon of the land piled up earth to spread the land farther. The battle between the two continued on and on until the world was engulfed in wild storms and blazing fire. Kyogre, Groudon. It seemed as if their battle would never end, but finally the two swam into the depths of the ocean and disappeared. Oh, And oh man, we're already getting some of my faves because here we have Absol. Yes. I actually had one, but its stats just weren't what I needed it to be at the time. So I ended up having to put it in the box. I always feel bad about that. But we see that the ocean levels are in fact starting to rise. And we see Absol looking over Lava Ridge as the people cry out, "Our town, our hot springs, what's happening?" Absol then looks to the dormant Mount Chimney as we see Amber still flying above on his Pelipper, saying, "Wonderful. The power of the meteorite is amazing." He hops down to meet with his group as we have Shelly pull the meteorite out of the device, saying that should be enough to Professor Cosmo. Amber then brings out Carvana and has it slice into the ground. Oh, he's creating a smokescreen as he tells the girl still up above on Tropius, "Well then, so long." As more dust and steam is kicked up, Sapphire shouts, "Wait!" and she has Tropius dive in, only for them to be blasted back. I can't really tell by what, though. But Flannery is thrown clear of the smoke as she struggles to get up. She looks to the device, noticing everyone's gone. She gets her up, questioning, "Where did they go? And where are you, Sapphire? Sapphire?" A voice calls out from underground, "Down here." Flannery crouches down, saying, You're underground? Oh, what the heck? Where are they?" Sapphire in some weird space with Tropius, and Combuskin says, "Kinda." Combuskin lights a fire to illuminate the place, but you can't really tell what's going on. But Sapphire says, "I've seen this before. It's a Pokemon move called Secret Power." Like, this is Secret Power? What the heck? Flannery questions Secret Power. Sapphire tells her, "Yeah. It creates an opening inside rocks and trees. They used it to escape." Flannery questions, "You went after them? Can you see them from your position?" Sapphire says, "Nah, I can't even tell how big this place is, but I can tell you one thing for sure. I'm not gonna let any of them get away." As she bares her fangs and claws, metaphorically. Oh, but suddenly, it's like some attack is launched towards her that she and her Pokemon barely managed to dodge, I think? Although it does look like Sapphire got hit. Flannery calls out for Sapphire, but to no avail. She then looks to the machine Team Aqua was using, as Mount Chimney has gone cold, and so have the hot springs of Lava Ridge Town at the base of the mountain, she says, looking over her city. She then clenches her fist and readies one of her Pokemon, shouting, "Sapphire is fighting all on her own. I have to do something too. Something for my hometown." And she then unleashes Macargo and tells it to use Flamethrower into the volcano, trying to reignite the volcano. He shouts, "Come on, I'm gonna fire this volcano back up. I'll rekindle its fire." Suddenly a voice calls out from behind her, "Good idea, but you're gonna need more firepower than that," says none other than Tabitha. Of course he would want this. Yeah, he doesn't want them to get the upper hand in their little war. Tabitha looks to the machine, saying, "Just look at what Team Aqua did. They've caused the volcanic activity of this mountain to cease." Flannery cries out, "Did you help them do this?" Tabitha tells him, "No way. You've got it backwards. I'm on the side that wants this volcano alive and kicking. In that sense, I guess you could say that I'm on your side." Yeah, Flannery feeling dubious about this is right, given the getup that he's in. From where she's at, Sapphire can hear the rumbling going on outside of wherever she's at, as she questions, "Why is it getting so hot?" Flannery shooting fire into the volcano? "That's a great idea. The volcano's starting to react. More. You might be able to bring this volcano back to life if you keep that up." Flannery hears this and says, "Okay, Sapphire." Tabitha tells her, "If you really want to light this volcano on fire, here's how you do it." What does he have? Charcoal? Oh, to increase their firepower? Yeah. He tosses it up into the air and brings out his Torkoal, who channels the power of the charcoal. As Tabitha says, "My Torkoal burns coal inside its body all the time." We get the Pokedex Torkoal, the coal Pokemon. Torkoal digs through mountains in search of coal. If it finds some, it fills hollow spaces on its shell with the coal and burns it. If it is attacked, this Pokemon sprouts thick black smoke to best make a retreat. It's too tiny for me to tell. Tabitha says, but today I'm gonna burn it outside for a change. Torkel creates a massive torrent of flames, much to Flannery's shock. Tabitha tells her, "What are you standing there with your mouth open for? Help me out. You're a fire-type trainer too, aren't you?" Flannery says, yeah. Macargo. She has Macargo join in. By their powers combined, Tabitha and Flannery shout, "Let's do this," and cause a massive blast of fire to erupt into... Oh no, they use it to destroy the machine as well as launching the fire into the volcano. Dang, nice combination. I actually don't remember if you're able to I think you stop Team Aqua or Team Magma, who's either trying to rise or sink the ocean levels, depending. I don't think they succeed, but doesn't the machine just kind of sit up there for the entirety of the rest of the game? I think so. Oh, this is chapter 216, mixing it up with Macargo. Alright, with the massive fire blast launched into the volcano, it is reactivated. Flannery grabbing and hugging Tabitha, saying, "We did it! We did it! We did it!" And it seems though the magma has become active, but Tabitha says, "Nope, it didn't work." Flannery says the energy of the meteorite and the energy of the fireball we threw in are clashing against each other inside the volcano. Tabitha thinks for a minute and then goes to walk off. Flannery questions, "Where are you going?" Tabitha says, "We just threw in the biggest fireball I can make. If that won't do the trick, then that's that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to let Team Aqua get away with it. What the whole Hoenn region needs is land, and we, Team Magma, have to increase the amount of land, whatever it takes." Flannery questions, "Land?" Tabitha then brings out Swallow. Yep, another one, and another one. And as he goes to take off, he tells her, "That's right. By the way, your fire was pretty impressive. Goodbye." And this actually makes Flannery blush. I think she just likes being complimented. As Tabitha flies off, Flannery then realizes, saying, "Oh, Sapphire, Sapphire!" He says as she goes to a crack in the volcano, calling out to Sapphire. Meanwhile, Sapphire's still battling it out, and wherever she's at, she tells Tropius to use Solar Beam, and it fires into the mist of wherever they are, only for the Solar Beam to come back around. Is she like fighting herself? And it almost hit Combuskin. Sapphire calls out, "You don't know when to quit, do you? Ain't it about time you showed yourself?" But it echoes, "Yourself, yourself, yourself." Sapphire questions this, and she says, "Trophy, hold on." She then decides to get a little bit closer, noticing nothing happens when they do nothing. She then comes to what looks like some kind of reflective screen, and she says, "Grr, I've been tricked. Mirror coat. They were using this to reflect my attacks. They only attacked once. I was fighting against mirrors all this time. And they got away while I was distracted." As she thinks of Team Aqua laughing at her as they run away, she slams on the ground saying, "Stupid, stupid!" But then she hears Flannery calling out to her, "Sapphire, Sapphire!" And she looks up above to see the crack. She sees something shining on the ground. He reaches down and picks it up. Wonder what it is, a piece of meteorite? We then cut to Flannery and Sapphire making their way down the mountain. As Sapphire says, "Sorry, I couldn't catch him. How did you do above ground?" Flannery looks back to Mount Chimney saying, "I tried. Shot as much fire as I could into the volcano, but I couldn't fully awaken it." The two of them look on dejected, sighing. Flannery tells her, "This route is called the Jagged Pass. It leads down from Mount Chimney to Lava Ridge Town. I was planning to show you around town, but then all this happened. I wanted you to get a chance to enjoy the wonderful hot springs of Lava Ridge Town. This really is a nice place, you know. People from all over Hoenn come here." Flannery's lip quivers and tears start falling from her face. Just darn it, couldn't protect the town. I'm a gym leader, and I couldn't even protect my hometown. What a rotten day." Sapphire looks on with a sympathetic gaze. But then the two hear something. Sapphire kneels down, crouching towards the volcano, as Flannery wipes her tears and approaches as well. Oh, they see bubbling water. Flannery says, "Oh, a hot spring." Sapphire says, "Nice." Flannery says, "The fireball must have heated up the water." Sapphire says, "Hey, time for a dip." And she starts, taking off her clothes. Flannery says, "What?" As Sapphire goes to take off her shirt, she says, "You just got done saying you wanted me to enjoy the hot springs around here. The water might get cold again. No time to lose." And as Sapphire strips, Flannery says, hey, Sapphire. Sapphire says, the battle's over. We lost. No point on dwelling on it. Time for some R&R. And as the two are very not clothed, I don't know how to feel about this. She wasn't expecting random fan service. Their Pokemon lounge by and in the waters as well. Well, Combuskin lounges in the water while Donphan and Tropius are by the side. Sapphire grabs one of the bananas off of Tropius. Wait, so those are actual bananas. I always thought those were part of its body. Oh, it actually grows fruit on its neck. That's wild. I thought that was part of its body. That's kind of freaky. Sapphire picks the bananas from Tropius's neck, saying, here, have one. It's good. Flannery says thanks. And then thanks says, Sapphire's munching down on a banana. She's trying to cheer me up. He then says, Sapphire, would you do me a favor? I want to have a Pokemon battle. Right here and now. To get over my bad feelings about all the rotten things that happened here today. To get back my passion as a gym leader. Sapphire backs up saying, why not? It'll be fun. Flannery says, then let's begin. Wait, really? Like, while you're bathing? Oh my god, really? So while in the hot spring, I don't know how to feel about this. I said I love Flannery, though. It's just, I don't know. Flannery feels so young and pure and innocent. It feels weird to think anything more about her. But Flannery sends out Macargo, while Sapphire sends out Combuskin. Combuskin grabs onto Macargo's neck. When Macargo manages to fling Combuskin into the air, Combuskin rebounds off of a nearby rock formation, going in for a double kink against Macargo. Sapphire says, oh yeah! But Flannery says, not so fast, as the two Pokemon back up. They both end up using Flamethrower, which causes a massive explosion of fire. But when the blast clears, Macargo can't find Combuskin. Flannery calls out, behind you, but it's too late as Macargo's hit in the back. As Macargo's shell starts to break, Sapphire says, chick, jump back. Oh, as Macargo's shell breaks, and it's almost like shrapnel going off and hitting Combuskin. The two girls and the two Pokemon pant, but then Flannery and Sapphire smile at each other, and then they kissed. I'm sorry. This is an interesting friendship going on here, as the two then start laughing. We then cut to later as they're now clothed, thankfully. Get to stop feeling weird about all that. And Sapphire reaches her hand into the water they were just in, saying, but it got cold. Flannery says, my grandfather was a great trainer. He was once one of the Elite Four. The way she talks about it, it feels like he's dead. I think we met him in the anime. Flannery says, I was really fond of my grandpa. I've always dreamed of becoming an expert trainer like him. That's why I became a gym leader. I can't tarnish my grandfather's reputation. I don't have time to get depressed over this defeat. Can't let Team Aqua get away with this and wreak havoc wherever they please. Sapphire pumps her fist, saying, that's right. You're a great gym leader. She then sneezes. Flannery says, sounds like you're catching a cold. As Sapphire boards Tropius, Flannery tells her, I'll let all the gym leaders know what happened. I'll contact the Pokemon Association and tell them all about it. I'll organize all the help I can get. I hope I can. Sapphire says, I'd better train some more and get ready for my next battle. And I'm going to beat Team Aqua too. As Sapphire begins her takeoff, Flannery calls out, the next town, Fort Tree City, is known as the Treetop City. Oh, Treetop City. I kind of remember this. Fort Tree City. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. It had a really cool layout. I forgot all about that. Because you don't really see too many places like that. Oh, that's right. The Treetop City. Man, Ruby and Sapphire really had some cool location. Flannery says, it's on the other side of the mountain up ahead. He waves, thanks, Sapphire. And take this with you. Oh no, she throws none other than the, what's it called? The heat badge. Sapphire catches it, saying, see ya, Flannery. And she takes off. It's 49 days left until the deadline. I gotta admit, I actually really like the interesting bond that kind of formed between Sapphire and Flannery. We haven't really seen that between Sapphire and another trainer. They went through something really intense, and I kind of like it. It's one of those things that kind of make me wish that some of these trainers actually were traveling with these gym leaders too. But then again, unlike with Brock and Misty, the manga kind of holds gym leaders to task about actually being at their gym. Alright, chapter 217, Mind-Boggling with Metacham. Metacham's always been kind of weird to me. I like its design, but it's also kind of weird. Alright, we pick up in the desert ruins of Route 111. Wait, yeah, don't you have low visibility in this area? Yeah, you could barely make out where you were going out here. Yeah, I kind of remember this. There were so many cool environmental things in Ruby and Sapphire that I forgot about. Yeah, we pick up in the desert ruins of Route 111 as Tabitha has arrived with Courtney into the lair where we see Maxie and Blaze. That's such a weird name. Blaze? Maxie looks up saying, Tabitha, how is Mount Chimney? Tabitha dusts himself off saying, it's hopeless. The volcano is dead. You see Courtney remove her hood as well. Maxie then looks to Blythe saying, how's the scanner, Blythe? Blythe, fiddling with it, says, I'm not done yet. Tougher than I thought. Courtney says, I'm sick of waiting. Scratching her head. I'm gonna search every place I can think of for that orb. Is that okay with you, boss? As she goes to the entrance, Maxie tells her, do as you like, but don't forget to share your memories with us before you go. What? She snaps off her horn, and all three of them do the same. There's flames in the horn, which they hold together, and they share their memories in the flame. What the heck? Okay, I don't even understand the logistics of that. Regardless, as Courtney takes off on her swallow, Maxie says, well then, it's time I got down to business as well. As he removes his cloak, no longer really looking like a bandit leader, but now as a well-dressed man of business. Announcer says, meanwhile, back in Vandertuft Town, thanks to Gabby, Ruby managed to get into the normal ranked Pokemon contest. He and his Pokemon are in the middle of the competition. We didn't even bother with most of the competition. We finally get to a competition and the manga feels like just yada yada owing over some of it. I mean, look, I don't have that much of an interest in contests, but it was always May and Dawn's enthusiasm for it that actually made it kind of fun, especially once the visuals for the anime got really pretty. It was just like, yes, good, a feast for the eyes. But the manga ain't even trying. Man, I really don't. I think I got the hang of Pokemon contests over a while, but I don't think I ever really got into them. Regardless, the contest announcer says, welcome to the Vandertuft Town Pokemon Contest. Normal rank huge category. The second round is heating up. What will the next appeal be? As we see Ruby standing off to the side with, what was his name? Delcatty on stage with a little shawl around it. Ruby says, Kiki, growl. And Delcatty, growls with a beautiful singing voice that causes the whole crowd to go, aww. And Ruby just maxes out them points. The announcer saying, he did it, amazing. Ruby's Delcatty won the most votes for its looks in the primary round and received the most votes in the secondary round, making it the winner. You then have an artist just sketching their picture? I can't remember if that was the thing that actually happened. Oh, he made some nice outfits for his Pokemon. I wish you could actually do that in the game. Give your Pokemon little things to wear. People are looking at the sketches of his Pokemon. Cute category winner Ruby's Kiki. Cool category winner Ruby's Nana. The audience is looking at the picture saying, that boy is unbelievable. This contestant appeared out of nowhere and won by a landslide. And here he's entered every category. What? Meanwhile, Ruby's sitting up above on a little waiting room as he says, okay, it's done. This is for you, Moo. And he puts a nice little vest on Marshtomp. But as he moves, he can hear the cracking of his bones and says, ow, my whole body aches. I haven't recovered from that battle against my father yet, but I don't have time to whine and complain. As he, I think, recalls Marshtomp, and then he holds up his contest license saying, I finally made it to Vandertuft Town and got myself a Hoenn Region contest pass, and I have to keep on winning if I'm going to fulfill my dream of becoming the champion of every contest. He then sets out all of his Pokemon and their Pokeballs saying Kiki's cuteness, Nana's coolness, Moomoo's toughness, and you two are my new entries for the beauty and smart category. Right? Fifi, he calls Feebas, and Fofo, Fee-Fi-Fo-Fum. Fofo, his cast form. He begins taking pictures of his Pokemon saying, I'm counting on you two. We're going to work together to get to the top. The two voices they call out, hello, excuse me. Gabby says, allow me to introduce myself again. I'm Gabby from Omen TV. You're on a real winning streak, Ruby. Good for you. Bravo. Nice work. You've come so far. Ruby says, are you filming this for a program? Hold on a minute, please. He then brushes his hat as he looks in the mirror. Oh, he pats down his hat. I love filming things, but I love being filmed even more. Cappy's a bit taken aback by this. He tells her, the secret to my success, that's simple. My team is just too good to, I forgot. As he then suddenly leaps behind the chair. He thinks to himself, I can't be seen on camera because I was involved in that submarine incident. Gabby questions, Ruby? Ruby then thinks, I want to be on TV, but I can't be. Why do you torment me like this, Gabby? I wish you'd talk to her. I thought they talked about what was going on. Suddenly, an announcement comes over the intercom. The secondary round of the beauty category is about to begin. Contestants, please report to the stage. Ruby takes off crying, grabbing his bag, saying, excuse me. Ty sighs, saying, are you sure we're doing the right thing? Gabby questions, what do you mean? Ty tells her, what do I mean? Well, for starters, that cast form belongs to President Stone, but Ruby named it Fofo. And our job is to figure out what happened in those incidents in the Hoenn region, isn't it? So what good will it do to watch this contest? Gabby tells him, calm down. You just need to wait a little longer. I know you think we're wasting our time, but I have a hunch there's something special about that boy. That's what my instincts as a journalist are telling me. Ty looks unconvinced, but I love Gabby. She feels like Bulma from Dragon Ball, while Ty feels kind of like Yamcha. I don't know why that comparison came to mind, but it's kind of there. Gabby tells him, let's go, Ty. On stage, the announcer says, before we begin the secondary round, I'll explain the basic rules of the Pokemon contest in the Hoenn region, which is weird to bring up at the end of everything, but whatever. There are 4 contest halls in the Hoenn region divided by rank. Our Vandertuft Town's contest hosts a normal rank contest. Only the winners have the right to challenge the next rank in a different town. Each contest hall has 5 categories, and they are cool, beauty, cute, smart, and tough. Ty says, 4 contest halls, 5 categories equals 20 contests in all? Gabby says Ruby's aspired to win all of them. Yeah, I could see why that. I probably didn't get too far with that. Or maybe I did. I don't really remember. The announcer says, as you know, the Pokemon contest is not a battle, but a competition comparing Pokemon conditions and moves. In the first round, the judges evaluate the looks of the Pokemon. In the second round, the contestants appeal to the judges by showing off their Pokemon's moves. The contestant's rank is determined by the total points received in these 2 rounds. Well then, let's move on to the second round, the beauty category. As we see several Pokemon laid out, we then cut to the stage where, oh man, I'm trying to figure out some of these. Altaria, Medicham, and Camerupt, there we go, are all lined out. Well then, let's move on to the second round, the beauty category. But as the crowd sees Feebas, they say, what? Look at his Pokemon. Is he seriously planning to use that Pokemon for the beauty category? He was last place in the first round too. Its moves can't be nice with the looks like that. Ruby then thinks, I realized something after fighting Dad. It's pointless to compete just to win the Pokemon contest. My skills as a trainer are irrelevant if I use an obviously beautiful Pokemon to win. But if I can triumph in the beauty category with Feebas, everybody will be surprised and impressed. I'll show them. He smiles and he tells Feebas, Fifi, water pulse. And Feebas creates a torrent of sparkles in the area, and the crowd goes wild and cheers. And they're clapping in the crowd, much to Ruby's shock, none other than Wally. Interesting. Alright, we move into chapter 218. It's absolutely a bad omen. Oh, these fun. The announcer calls out, that's it for the second round of the beauty category. And after totaling up the scores of the first and second round, the winner is Ruby's Feebas Fifi. Though Ruby is not even paying attention. I figured we'd have to have a moment where he really had to struggle to overcome his issues with Feebas, but he just rolled with it. Like, shoot, he's way too much of a pro. No wonder we're not really focusing on any other contest contestant. But Ruby puts on his glasses, which I keep having to remember that he actually uses his glasses to see. Is he nearsighted? Because I'm nearsighted too. Now, have to use specs in order to see things far away. Ruby says, well, thanks to himself, I could have sworn I saw Wally in the audience. He told me he was moving to Vandertuft Town. I'm positive that was Wally. He moved here for medical treatment. I hope he's getting better. Suddenly someone grabs him saying, what are you doing, Ruby? Oh, it's Gabby. He says, you have to hurry. Ty says, that's right. You entered the tough and cute categories too, didn't you? I'm actually glad they're helping out. See, why did they get to be actual companions in all of this? Then again, Gabby and Ty, didn't they appear like multiple times throughout your journey in Ruby and Sapphire? The announcer says, category second round will be held in the room 4. Ty tells Ruby, come on, you have to get a move on. And then we see all of Ruby's Pokemon have won in every category possible. As the people exit the contest, they say, wow, today's contest was awesome. That boy who entered and won every single category was amazing. Meanwhile, Ruby is trying to make his way through the crowd calling out for Wally. He then seems to spot Wally about to board a bus as he says, there he is. I'm too late. He's getting on that bus. Come on, Fifi, Ice Beam. And Feebas does just that, creating, oh man, ice to block the bus door. A bald man bumps his head and then falls into people and they all fall like dominoes. Oh man. Ruby, how are you not gonna get beat up for doing this? Ruby comes over with a smile saying, you made it just in time. Sorry, maybe I was a bit rough. Didn't you recognize me? And as he picks up Wally, who says, ow, he notices that this Wally, she's got a few things that would tell you this ain't the Wally you know. Huh, a lookalike? Ruby says, I don't remember you having such long hair, Wally. As a matter of fact, you're not even a boy. He then looks to the angry crowd forming next to them as they yell at him. Gabby comes running up saying, uh-oh, my apologies. And as the people in the bus drive off angry, we see that Gabby and Ty have invited Ruby and the female Wally into the Hoenn television van. Ruby says, why do you go and... maybe it's Gabby who says, why do you go and do a thing like that? So you mistook Wanda for your friend Wally, is that it? Ruby says, yeah, she looks so much like him. And she wasn't wearing glasses either. Hey, she wasn't wearing glasses? Gabby says, but you didn't have to knock the others over, right? Wanda says, oh, it's all right. I'm glad I got to meet you. Your name's Ruby, right? I'm Wally's cousin, but everyone thinks we're siblings because we look so much alike, right? Ruby says, what? Yeah, she looks older too. See, normally you wouldn't have cousins look that similar. Wanda says, he told me all about what happened at Petalburg City. Ruby thinks to himself, uh-oh. Wanda says, don't worry, I'm the only one who knows about it. Wally was really happy you helped him, and he's feeling much better. It's weird to introduce a cousin. I don't remember him having a cousin. We see a flashback of Wally bringing out his Pokemon, Ralts and Kelsion. Wanda says, oh, Kelsion and Ralts. What happened, Wally? I thought you didn't have a Pokemon of your own. Wally says, I made friends with a boy named Ruby the day before I moved, and we snuck out and captured Pokemon together. Please don't tell Dad and Mom, Wanda. When I got separated from Ruby, I found out he was okay from Rara. I'm still worried about him, though. Ruby. In present day, Wanda says, well, he's getting better since he moved to Vandertuft Town. The air is cleaner, but I think having his own Pokemon helped a lot too. So thank you for that, Ruby. She gives a bit of a bow. Ruby wipes his finger, saying, oh, it was nothing. Wanda says, it's too bad, though. Ruby would have been so happy to see you. Ruby questions, huh? What do you mean? Wanda tells him, well, he had to go to a large hospital for a checkup, so he left for a different town this morning. Ruby's taken aback by this. Gabby chimes in saying, well, at least now you know your friend is on the mend. Ruby ponders this a bit. Suddenly, a broadcast comes onto the screen at the front of the van. What year was this? I get it, man. They're just a lot of things that were already in the making that are so common nowadays. The news report reads, breaking news. We've just learned that there's been a cave-in at the Rustsurf Tunnel construction site where they're building a connection between Vandertuft Town and Rustboro City. Yeah, I remember there was some kind of bridge or tunnel or whatever. I forgot about that. It's not really massive. It's like you just kind of go under one town and end up in the other. Or you end up in one route and go to another, I think. At this point, we don't have any information about whether there are any casualties. Wanda says, Rustsurf Tunnel? That's near my house. Gabby says, oh no, Ty, take us there. Ty starts the car saying, gotcha. Gabby says, Wanda, you better come with us. Ruby questions, what about me? Gabby says, you too, of course. And they go screeching off. But as they drive, Ruby looks out the window, seeing none other than Absol. Oh, Ruby seems to be aghast at this. Gabby sees Absol too, saying, oh, what a pretty Pokemon. What's the matter, Ruby? You usually shout something like beautiful or enchanting the moment you see a Pokemon like that, don't you? Ruby goes to his Pokedex saying, yeah, but when I saw that Pokemon, I felt a chill run down my spine. He reads the Pokedex. Absol, the disaster Pokemon. Every time Absol appears before people, it is followed by a disaster such as an earthquake or a tidal wave. As a result, it became known as the disaster Pokemon. Ruby says Absol. Every time Absol appears is followed by a disaster. It's the disaster Pokemon. Wonder why he's so scared of it. To immediately give in to that rumor. We see at the collapsed tunnel, though, people are doing what they can to, save anyone trapped, saying, hey, we got an injured person over here. I need some help. And there are more victims inside the tunnel. We need help over here. As Gabby and Ty arrive at the scene, Gabby says, Ty, get the camera ready. Ty says, will do. A man comes running out to Wanda saying, oh, Wanda, I was just about to call you. Wanda questions, what happened? The man says, the tunnel started to cave in a moment ago. Riley was in charge, but we lost contact with him. Riley? Wonder who Riley is. Oh, suddenly, much to Gabby and Ty's shock, the van starts up and we see Wanda just taking off inside the tunnel as Gabby and Ty chase after, calling out for Wanda. Inside, you have Wanda shouting into the darkness of the tunnel for Riley. Gabby questions, what's wrong, Wanda? Wanda says, Riley, my fiance, works here and he's inside. Ty says, you mean he was involved in the accident? Suddenly something lands on the hood of the car. Ty turns going, huh? Absol, the disaster Pokemon. This cave-in is all its fault. Aw, Ty, come on, man. Wanda starts trying to pull up rocks, saying, we have to hurry. Riley is inside. Gabby grabs her, saying, it's no use, Wanda. There's nothing we can do. But suddenly, the door to the van opens. Ruby inside saying, now there is something. Moo, and his Marshtomp is at the ready to do something? Alright. Oh, okay, so that's how the ribbons work. Oh, I get you. Oh, that's why it's like this. Ruby swept the competition in the normal bracket, but you gotta go super hyper then master. Okay, that's how that works. I didn't realize. Ruby has made his way to Vandertuft Town, while Sapphire is at the Jagged Pass? Making her way out, but she seems farther away from there. They're somewhat close by, but only somewhat. They shouldn't run into each other anytime soon. It's chapter 219. What would you do for a Whismur? What would you do for a Klondike bar? Kill a man. Ty shouts, what are you talking about, Ruby? What can we do in a situation like this? Oh, it's using its fin to sense, right. Forgot it could do that. Ty says, it's impossible for us to remove all this rubble. But we just need to... Ruby's saying that. It's possible for us to remove all this rubble. But we just need to zero in on Riley's location, right? Moo can do that. The fin on its head is a powerful radar system. Ever since it was a mudkip, it can detect things by sensing the flow of water and air. Go, Moo! And Marshtomp seems to have found something, and it splashes all over Wanda, Gabby, and Ty. The Pokédex reads, Marshtomp, the mudfish Pokemon. Marshtomp is much faster at traveling through mud than it is as at swimming. This Pokemon's hindquarters exhibit obvious development, giving it the ability to walk on its hind legs. Ruby says, "Don't worry, Wanda will find him. Marshtomp can travel through mud faster than it can swim, although that's not really my style, but although Gabby and Wanda are just covered in mud, saying, so messy. But Marshtomp's moving through that mud. Ruby saying it seems to have bumped into the rubble that's blocking the tunnel. Good. Ruby then brings out a mic and strikes a pose, saying, though over time the world may crumble, its toughness is eternal. Now behold, as Mumu exhibits a great feat of strength, Marshtomp's Rock Smash. And Marshtomp's smashes some rocks, and next thing you know, he's holding Riley aloft over his head, carrying him to safety. Hero Marshtomp. Good guy, Hero Marshtomp. Riley is a big son of a gun, too. Dang. I see you, Wanda. Wanda is hugging Riley, saying, I'm so glad, so glad. Gabby says, that was amazing, Ruby. Ruby brushes it off with a smile, saying, oh, it was nothing. Wanda looks to Ruby, saying, thank you, Ruby, with tears in her eyes. Ruby says, I hope this makes up for my bad behavior by the bus. Oh, and if you ever happen to be the judge of a Pokemon contest somewhere, please don't forget to vote for me. Really? I mean, I get it. Content creator, you gotta plug. He then brings out the Pokeblock holder, saying, I almost forgot you're in for a treat, Moo. Well done. And he spins around the Pokeblock thing and then launches one at Marshtomp, who just gobbles it down. Oh man. Ooh, Riley's got that butterface. Then again, who am I to talk? Like me and my wife. Riley wakes up, grabbing at his head and crying out in pain. Though Wanda is overjoyed, Ty says, oh, he's regained consciousness. Riley says, was it you who rescued me? Thank you. It's a miracle I survived. We were examining this tunnel. The cave-in was totally unexpected. Ty questions, unexpected? You weren't working on this part of the tunnel, were you? So it wasn't your fault, right? Riley says, no, I'm in charge of this construction site. This tunnel was in absolutely no danger of caving in. Suddenly something's moving. Riley says, oh, did you see that? And a horde, and I mean a horde, of Whismur come running past. Ruby looks on thinking, how cute. Riley says, that's the reason we brought the construction to a halt. Gabby questions, those Whismur? Riley says, Whismur, also known as the Whisper Pokemon. They communicate with each other with cries like quiet murmurs, and they panic at sudden loud noises. Wanda says, so they couldn't use their heavy construction equipment to smash through the rock. Riley decided to halt construction so not to frighten the Whismur. Ruby tears up, saying, you stopped constructing this tunnel just to protect these cute Pokemon. You, sir, are a wonderful man. He shouts to the heavens. But Riley says, we haven't made any noise since we halted construction here. We maintained the integrity of the tunnel and its safety. But we still had a cave-in. Something doesn't add up. And it's not just this tunnel. Ruby questions, is shocked at this. Riley says the entire Hoenn region has been experiencing strange earthquakes recently. I have a bad feeling that some kind of disaster is about to strike the entire region. Ruby looks around thinking, earthquakes, disaster? Come to think of it, where's Absol? He looks to the van thinking it's gone. But the Whismur start to panic and then start yelling. Ruby and the others question what's going on. Ruby brings out his Pokédex that reads, Whismur, the Whisper Pokemon. Normally, Whismur's voice is very quiet. It is barely audible even if one is paying close attention. However, this Pokemon senses danger. It starts crying at an ear-splitting volume, which it's doing just now. Ruby says Whismur are normally very quiet. The only time they raise their voice is when they sense danger. And suddenly, there's a rumbling in the cave, and the cave starts caving in. Oh, but a voice then calls out, look at those guys blathering on about earthquakes and disaster. It might be a disaster to them, but it's success to us. As we see the members of Team Magma emerge, Courtney riding atop a Ninetales. As the Team Magma grunt says, that's right, these earthquakes are signs that the land is growing and expanding. Yep, Sapphire had her encounter with Team Aqua, It's time for Ruby and Team Magma. Ty says, red uniforms? Are they the ones from Slateport City? Courtney calls to the grunts, hey, quit pontificating. Ooh, she actually used the word pontificating. Oh. If you want to know why I use that word so much, it's Return of Jafar. The line, let me pontificate upon your sorry state. You're only second rate. I love using the word pontificate. The grunts say, right. Courtney smiles a devious smile while she chews her gum, saying, I made this tunnel collapse to drive people away from the area. I didn't expect to come here and find anyone inside. Get rid of them. And the grunts say, yeah, as they rush in with their Pokemon, a Sand Slash and a Macargo. Ty brings out his Magnemite in response, while Riley protects Wanda. In the meantime, Courtney with her Ninetales says, now then, I'll let them take care of those minnows while I search for. And as Arcanine starts burning into the rock, Courtney says, the red orb that's said to exist somewhere in the Hoenn region. As soon as we find it, we'll be able to control the legendary Pokemon that is about to awaken, the continent Pokemon Groudon. We don't have much time. We have to find the orb before Team Aqua discovers the other legendary Pokemon, Kyogre. As Ty is being manhandled by a magma grunt, he calls out, Ruby, will you help us? And Ruby on the roof of the car says, no way. Oh, Marshtomp is side-eyeing him. But Courtney, she catches wind of this and turns saying, hey, are you? Ruby turns to her saying, am I what? And then, oh my god, that's how it works? Memories in the flame? I don't know why that just rubs me the weirdest way. But Courtney just pops off the horn, holds the flame that comes out of it. Oh no, it's like a lighter. That's so weird. Holds the lighter horn up to a piece of paper, and then bam, Ruby's face comes out on the paper. Courtney then activates her Pokeball saying, change of plans. As Swallow lifts her up and sends her directly towards Ruby. Oh boy, there's no getting out of a fight now, Ruby. Alright, in the last chapter of this video, chapter 220, going to 11 with Loudred and Explode. See, this isn't my favorite noise Pokemon. My favorite noise Pokemon comes in another, like 3 generations. You can probably guess who my favorite sound Pokemon is based off of that. Though I do think Loudred and Explode are actually kind of cool. And it's part 1. Alright, as Courtney is sent hurtling towards Ruby with her Swallow, she grabs him and just plucks him up and takes him off, much to the shock of the others. Yep, and she just flies off with him. As Gabby and Ty reach out, crying out for Ruby, but they're blocked by the magma grunts, who say, hey, you have to deal with us first. And Ty growls in anger. Meanwhile, as they make their way down the cave, Courtney says, look, the tunnel has been completed because somebody blasted through those boulders. Now Vandertuff Town and Rustboro City are finally connected. You ought to be grateful. While Ruby struggles in her iron-tight grasp, Courtney says, are you trying to pull my hand off? Forget it, you can't escape me. A mixture of Tomeg and Kelpsie berry juice is seeping out of my gloves. It's extremely sticky natural glue. Which, why does she always have berry stuff on her gloves? Ruby asks, why are you doing this to me? But she looks down at him saying, don't you play dumb with me. We met at Route 108 and at Slateport City, too. Don't tell me you don't remember, she says, tossing Ruby and having him slip out of her glove so he can be slammed into the wall of the cavern. As she shouts, you fought me on the abandoned ship. As Ruby tries to recover, Courtney sends out Ninetales saying, I'm one of the 3 fires of Team Magma, Courtney. Come on, show me what you've got like you did before. Okay, I can make out what that was before. But Ruby blocks Ninetales' claws with his Pokeblock case. And he just blocks it again and again and again, or dodges out of the way. Courtney questions, well, why are you playing around? Use your Pokemon. I brought you way over here so other people wouldn't see you battle, you know. Ruby is shocked, but at Courtney, as she once again pulls off her horn, says, "You look surprised. Don't be. I know all about you. Don't take Team Magma lightly." I still don't get this shared memory horn flame thing. It is such a weird gimmick, but she ignites the lighter in her horn as she says, "The three fires of Team Magma carry a horn with a lighter inside, a lighter that ignites the flames of our memories." So weird. By combining our flames, we share our memories. We've seen how you fouled up our plans. That is so each of us knows all about you. But Ruby, now with a much more serious expression, sends out all his Pokemon this time. Castform, Mightyena, Marshtomp, Delcatty, and Feebas. While Courtney commands Arcanine, she says, "This is great. Now I can finally see how good you are when you get serious about battling." Meanwhile, Gabby, Ty, Wanda, and Riley are backed into a corner by the members of Team Magma. Riley questions, "What happened to Ruby?" Ty tells him their leader took him with her. Riley says, "He's in danger. We have to do something about these thugs." But Wanda calls out for Riley as we see the Whismur cowering. Gabby says, "It's the Whismur again. Didn't they run away?" The Ty is shocked. As we see a few Loudred flanking one Exploud. Oh, baby. Yeah, she kind of should have figured. Baby Pokemon, there was only a matter of time before the parents showed up and Grandpappy Exploud. Ty says, "The Whismur summoned their evolved friends to deal with this mess." Members of Team Maga say, "Yeah, run for it." Riley tells everyone, "Cover your ears." Ty tells Gabby to duck as Loudred and Exploud just start screaming. Oh my god! As it just annihilates the members of Team Magma. Oh man. Tables! It looked like a Kamehameha went off as everyone's recovering from the loud noise. Ty says, "Wow, they blew away those grunts with their sound waves." Riley says, "That was hyper voice." "Yeah, all the more reason not to mess with the Whismur." Riley says, "Look, they even blasted away the rubble." Ty says, "There's enough space for a van to move through. Get in, we have to go after Ruby." Everyone piles in the van and they take off down the tunnel. Meanwhile, Ruby and his Pokemon are all hit. Well, except for Marshtomp, who manages to ward it off with his water. Good battle instinct, I should say. They're all hit by fireballs from Courtney's Ninetales. Courtney says, "You had your guard down because you have a Marshtomp, which has an advantage against fire-type moves. But so what? My Ninetales can shoot out 9 fireballs at once from its 9 tails. Ninetales, Ninetales, Ninetales. The best your Marshtomp can do is eliminate a few of them." I mean, he's putting in the work. Yeah, but the other Pokemon are getting cooked. As Courtney says, "But the rest of the fireballs will inflict damage on your other Pokemon." Wait, why is it Feebas shooting out water projectiles? Courtney says, "I'm one of the 3 fires, remember? We're the 3 executive members of Team Magma." Yes, because you definitely want to give out information about your secret organization. We specialize in fire types, but we each use different tactics. First, there's Tabitha. He likes to put his opponents to sleep using the smoke from his Torkoal. And you're even going into tactics. Girl, you are way too overconfident. Next, there's Blyce. He uses heat to create illusions and trick his opponent. But I'm not into roundabout strategies like that. I like things nice and simple. I have a scorched earth policy. I just burn everything to the ground. Ooh. Well, hello. Too hot to trot. She then steps towards the injured Ruby, saying, "It seems you have a passion for Pokemon contests. I like beautiful things myself, you know. But how do you define true beauty? Do you seriously think this stupid ribbon is a symbol of beauty? Of course not." She holds out a contest ribbon and then throws it into the flames. Okay, so she used to be into contests. "The most beautiful thing in this world is in a moment when everything is engulfed in flames," said the pyromaniac. Oh, man, these people should not have lighters. She goes up to and kneels to Ruby, saying, "So what do you think? Would you like to join us?" Oh, as she lifts up Ruby's head, grabbing his chin. I mean, why would he, though? I guess that does explain her explaining things. Alright, so Team Aqua and Team Magma are making the big moves now. Team Aqua causing a friggin' volcano to go dormant, which is raising the sea levels, while Team Magma is creating these earthquakes and earth slides and all that, all in an effort to find the orbs of Kyogre and Groudon to gain control of these legendary Pokemon. And they're gonna rip up the entire Hoenn region in the process. Okay, so we have no idea where Sapphire is right now. She could be doing anything or be with anyone, anywhere. But Ruby is in the Rust Surf Tunnel. Rust Surf Tunnel through the mountain. But he's getting the business. And Sapphire, the thing that really helped her out is having some backup. Ruby, he doesn't really have that. I mean, not gym leader level backup, I should say. But I love the camaraderie between Sapphire and Flannery. I really do hope I get to see them team up again. That was a lot of fun. But finally getting to see Ruby participate in some contests, and it's nice, but they do nothing to make you interested in contests. Not that it's their job to do so. They probably believe a little bit more in the Pokemon battles, but man, the anime did a good job of making me invested in the Pokemon contest. But they're not even trying to give Ruby any kind of rivalry or even really get to see anything besides like maybe a panel of its Pokemon showing off. I don't know. Like, put this art to work. Let's see something a little bit more interesting. But I'm interested to see how Ruby manages to deal with this. I mean, he always seems to pull out a win just at the last second. So this will probably not be any different. I do appreciate that the confrontation between Ruby and Team Magma is always a little different than the confrontation between Sapphire and Team Aqua, but it's always very intense. It does kind of help that these guys are sadistic or that things would be over way too fast. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also remember to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din and hope to see you later. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.